In the mid-12th century, near Woolpit, England, local reapers discovered something defying all biological and historical logic.
Trapped inside a deep, damp earthen wolf pit were two terrified children clutching each other in panic.
Their skin possessed a distinct emerald hue, launching the Green Children of Woolpit mystery into recorded history.
They spoke a completely unrecognizable language, wearing garments woven from strange, entirely unfamiliar, intricately dyed foreign materials.
Were these children mere victims of a forgotten war, or living proof of a hidden subterranean world?
To this day, the historical legacy of Woolpit Village proudly features two emerald children, cementing this anomaly.
The entire account rests on two independent, highly educated 12th century chroniclers who recorded the bizarre events meticulously.
Nonsense.
William of Newburgh, writing around 1189, initially dismissed the circulating local rumors as complete rustic nonsense.
They are coming.
However, after interviewing numerous credible eyewitnesses, William confessed the overwhelming weight of evidence forced his absolute belief.
Simultaneously, Ralph of Coggeshall, an abbot living just 30 miles away, documented the exact same bizarre phenomenon.
Ralph claimed his information came directly from Sir Richard de Calne, the local knight who sheltered kids. The strange children were safely brought inside the manor. However, they completely rejected all standard human food presented. Starving for days, they finally found raw, unpeeled green beans, tearing them open with desperate, animalistic hunger. As months passed, the younger boy sank into deep melancholy, eventually dying before uttering a single English word. The surviving girl slowly adapted to standard diets, losing her emerald complexion and finally learning the English language.
Sir Richard,
What she finally revealed to Sir Richard shattered every conventional understanding of local geography and human biology.
You must believe me.
She described her homeland as the land of St. Martin, a subterranean realm completely devoid of sunlight. In this mysterious underground realm, perpetual twilight reigned supreme, and every single inhabitant possessed naturally green skin. She claimed they were tending their flock when a suddenly loud, echoing bell sound lured them away. They wandered through dark, echoing caverns until they emerged into the blinding, terrifying sunlight of medieval England. Scholars immediately note that her underground twilight world perfectly mirrors traditional Celtic fairy folklore and ancient mythology. The motif of echoing bells luring humans into subterranean caverns is an absolute 100% traditional folklore trope. Medieval scholars were intimately familiar with these fairy tales, yet they officially recorded this anomaly as absolute fact. Educated 12th century linguists and nobles rigorously tested the surviving girl with numerous known dialects and regional languages. Despite knowing Latin, Norman French, and Old English, no scholar could identify a single spoken alien word. Modern scientists investigating the Green Children of Woolpit mystery frequently suggest a severe historical iron dietary deficiency. This specific hypothesis points toward chlorosis, historically known as green sickness caused by extreme iron deficiency anemia. The fact that her emerald skin vanished after adapting to normal food heavily supports this nutritional theory. However, clinical medical chlorosis produces a pale yellowish complexion, absolutely never a vibrant, striking, impossible emerald green. Therefore, the simple biological explanation completely collapses, forcing historians to examine a much darker, hidden military reality. In 1998, historical researcher Paul Harris proposed a chilling but entirely earthly explanation within the Fortean Studies Journal. During the 12th century, East Anglia was brutally flooded with foreign Flemish mercenaries fighting internal civil wars. These immigrant soldiers brought their families, establishing highly isolated cultural communities speaking a completely unrecognizable Dutch dialect. These foreign communities initially survived hidden within dense forests until 1173, when a massive, bloody slaughter erupted.
English royal forces annihilated the Flemish army at the Battle of Fornham, butchering thousands without any mercy. Fleeing the horrific massacre, the traumatized orphan children desperately sought refuge deep inside ancient dark Flint mines. These vast, terrifying underground tunnel networks perfectly explain their strange stories about a sunless, perpetual twilight realm. Starving for weeks in total darkness, they suffered severe malnutrition, physically altering their bodies and skin tone. The loud, mysterious echoing bells they heard were simply heavy church bells ringing from nearby Fornham village.
Disoriented and starving, they blindly followed the echoing chimes through subterranean passages, eventually falling into Woolpit's trap.
Furthermore, the girl's mysterious homeland, named St. Martin, perfectly matches Fornham St. Martin, a nearby historical village.
This strictly historical military theory logically resolves the strange clothing, the foreign language, and the subterranean isolation.
Yet this incredibly detailed academic explanation violently stumbles over one glaring, undeniable physical detail recorded by chroniclers.
Flemish mercenaries were ordinary humans, and severe malnutrition absolutely cannot spontaneously produce a bright emerald skin pigment. The historical military massacre perfectly explains the traumatized orphans, yet the impossible emerald skin defies all scientific logic. For over 870 years, every single logical earthly hypothesis has violently crashed against medieval documentation.
Do you take this woman?
William of Newburgh officially recorded that the surviving green girl eventually married a wealthy royal English nobleman. However, immediately following this aristocratic wedding, her entire existence vanished completely from all known historical medieval records. Centuries later, in 1621, Robert Burton famously analyzed this exact unresolved anomaly within his Anatomy of Melancholy. Burton mathematically questioned whether these children literally plummeted from the heavens or emerged from deep subterranean dimensions. Even after more than 870 years of continuous historical investigation, absolutely no comprehensive, undisputed explanation exists. Modern historians comfortably embrace the Flemish refugee theory, conveniently ignoring the impossibly vibrant green skin deliberately recorded. The quiet village of Woolpit remains entirely peaceful today, silently guarding its legendary, unexplainable subterranean emerald secret. If they were simply ordinary refugees, why did two highly respected historians swear their skin was emerald? Perhaps the deep, silent archives of human history conceal truths far stranger than our modern scientific understanding. We are left with mere historical fragments, fading whispers of an emerald subterranean world that perhaps never existed. Or chillingly, perhaps the mysterious land of St. Martin still waits somewhere deep beneath the English soil.
The absolute truth remains buried somewhere between an ancient chronicle, folk memory, and the details that history itself never managed to explain. But the case of the Green Children of Woolpit is not the only one. Our past preserves countless strange testimonies where document, legend, and human fear are woven together so tightly that separating one from another becomes almost impossible. Our archival investigations continue. Ahead lie forgotten chronicles, old manuscripts, unexplained coincidences, and stories that have waited far too long to be opened again.